3, 2, 1. Hello! Welcome, it is I, Raymond Modulin, a.k.a. the Real Estate Monkey. Guess what time it is? That's right, Real Estate with Raymond. And I'd like to welcome everybody. First of all, let me start off by saying I'm feeling a little under the weather, but hey, it's live, and that's what happens when you're live. The show must go on. So my name is Raymond Modulin. I'm the director of Real University. Have been here for about 13 years now. I'm also the managing broker for the Modulin Group. Today we're going to talk a little bit about marketing plans, the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you've got questions, I want you to leave answers or questions right down here. I see you guys all joining now. Today is one of two parts. That's right. This is so fantastic that we can't get into two parts. But I tell you what I do want to do. I want to start off with an apology. All right. Last week, we were talking about a topic, and there was an agent, Michelle, that sent in a question, really good question, and she and I talked offline about her question. When she gave me the question, I gave Michelle a little bit of a hard time, and that was me trying to be humorous and not a jerk. Later, some of my friends are like, hey, dude, you are kind of a jerk to that girl. So I apologize, Michelle, if I was a jerk. Sometimes I can be a jerk without even really trying. It just comes so easy. So I want to apologize to Michelle for if I was being a jerk to you last week, and I'm sorry, all right? But if you have questions today, send them right down here or send me an email, all right? So let's talk about marketing plans, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Today we're going to talk about the good, all right? Marketing plan is something that's very important. There's an old saying, if you don't plan, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you've got to have a plan. And in the real estate world, we're just selling stuff, all right? And you've got to have a plan on how that's going to work. So the easiest way to think of a plan, and you can go out there and you can Google marketing plan, and there's all kinds of crap. You know, you're going to get the 10 Ys and the 4 Ps and the 37 Qs and all that. But look, here's what it boils down to, dude. Focus, all right? Focus. You have got to create a plan where you focus on your market. What market do you want to be in? I know that when you first start, many people are beginning to think, oh, I'm a real estate agent, I sell real estate, I'll sell the AUL building downtown, and then I'll go sell a 100-acre farm. No, you can't do that, man. Don't think you can, because if you do, you're going to hurt your client and not represent you well. Focus. Focus on your target. What's your market? Are you going to do South Side? You're going to do North Side? You're going to be downtown? You're going to do Evansville? I don't care, but you should focus on a market. You should also focus on a product. Do you want to do investment property? Do you want to do land? Anybody know Scott Langdon? Langdon Land Services. It's actually now Langdon Real Estate, but he was well known for a long, long time as if you wanted to buy land, you go in and sell Scott. All right? George Tickajohn and apartments. You know? So you want to be the condo king? Hey, dude, have at it. Be the condo king. Do golf course lots. Do North Side. You could also focus on clients. What kind of client do you want to deal with? Do you want to deal with first-time home buyer? Something like that. Thanks, Melissa. Do you want to deal with investors? You know, that's what I did for a long time was investors. That was a client that I targeted because I understood how investors worked. All right, you might want to do with high-end homes north of the, up there by that lake. What's that called? Yeah, you know what I mean. And if you don't think that doesn't happen, let's play a little game real quick. Think of bank-owned home. Anybody know a realtor come to mind? Doesn't matter who it is, but one of them came to your mind because that's what they market. High-end homes over $1 million. Realtor come to mind? I've got one in my mind. But that's because that was her market, all right? Focus on a market. So for your marketing plan, you need to focus. Focus on a target market, focus on a target product, focus on a target client, all of those. If you start trying to do too much, you are not going to do well for anybody, okay? So that's one of the good things. I don't care what they tell you, the 4 Ps or any of that, you need to focus, all right? If you're just joining us today, we're talking about marketing plans, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And right now, we're only going to talk about the good. If you've got questions, I see you guys joining, Type your question in right down here. Unfortunately, I don't want to get too close because it scares people, but when you get old like this, I can't hardly read what's going on. And Carrie's laughing at me, as we can see. So one of the other things your marketing plan has to have, and which can involve the focus portion, is your measurables. All right? You've got to have goals. If you do not have goals in this business, it doesn't help you at all. Goals can be used for a couple different things. I use goals as a driver, meaning I need to get to that goal, and to get there, I've got to do certain things. Some people use goals as a result. Hey, I did this, so now I've got my goal, and I'm going to go out and have a hamburger. All right? So I use goals as a driver. They've got to be measurable goals, and they've got to be specific goals. You can't say, hey, I want to be the best realtor. Okay? Because that's not possible. What's that defined by? You've got to have a measurable in there. I want to do 30 deals this year. That I can measure. All right? So your measurables have to be specific. And you can be anything you want to be. If you're doing investment properties, it may be really hard for you to do $8 million in homes. But you might say, I want to do 30 deals. All right? So that maybe that's your measurable. And that actually works as a driver. Because you need to know, oh, gosh, I wanted to do 30 deals. I've done 6. I better get off my lazy, and go do something. So use the goals specifically as they're measurable. They can't be vague. And the other thing about your goals is they got to have a date, right? And you can get into that whole thing about SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. You got to have a date on your goals, because if you don't have a date, it's just a wish, If I'm going to drive a Ferrari by the end of the year, if I say, hey, I want to drive a Ferrari, I want to own a Ferrari, well, that's a wish and a dream. Who knows when it's going to happen? So you've got to have a measurable inside of your marketing plan. How many deals am I going to do? How much sales am I going to do? How much money am I going to bring home? Whatever you want to do, it's got to be measurable. It's got to be specific, all right? One of the last things I want to talk about in this short today is this thing called refocus. So far we've been talking about focus, and that's cool. You can focus on market, focus on product, focus on your measurables. At some point, refocus is part of your marketing plan. All right? So one of the good concepts of your marketing plan is at some point, typically on an annual basis at least, you should refocus. Did I meet last year's specific measurables? No. Well, why not? What did I do wrong? Did I not work enough? Maybe I had cigars 5 days a week and only talked to clients 2 days a week. Well, Lord forbid, now I got to change that and maybe talk to clients 3 days a week because I fell short of my measurables. You only know that because you've refocused your energy and re-looked at your marketing plan. There was a study done in Harvard in the 70s that talked about goals and marketing and all of that. And it of the 100%, and there was like 97 of them, 70% had no goals at all, 30% had goals, and of the 30%, 3% had written goals. The ones that actually had the written goals 20 years later actually made 10 times the amount of the people that didn't have any goals at all. All right? So you've got to have a marketing plan if you're going to be in this business. Focus. Focus. How are you going to attract people? How are you going to measure your success? Refocus. That helps you out. All right? I want to thank everybody that stopped by. If you've got questions during the week, send them to me at Raymond@myrealyou.com. Raymond@myrealyou. And every Friday, we're going to do Real Estate with Raymond. It's right here. And if we use your question, we're going to give away a gift next week, and I'll tell you what it is next week. So if you've got a question during the week, email me. If your question becomes the topic, you're going to get the prize, all right? So today we were talking about marketing plans, and it was one of two, because next week we're going to talk about what not to do to your marketing plan, all right? Until then, I just want to say thanks. See you later, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.